It was an awesome night for America First patriots. President Trump took to the stage and delivered an epic speech to America in the nation's capital. The president stood tall and gave the longest State of the Union address in U.S. history, surpassing the record he set just last year. He celebrated American heroes, from warriors from the field of battle to athletes from the field of play, leaving Americans with just one lasting question. Is the duty of the government to protect American citizens over anybody else or not? Let's get to the highlights.
The doors are now open in the chamber. John, thanks so much. We are expected to hear the announcement that the president has arrived for the State of the Union.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
My fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
He spent far more time during this speech on offense, right? Ticking through places that are culturally inflammatory in some cases. He put Democrats on the spot repeatedly. I mean, he almost goaded Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar at one point into shouting back at him when he asked the crowd to stand and clap if they supported American citizens. That is where this president often tries to project strength, and he did it again tonight.
But one of the most talked about moments of the night came minutes into the speech, and it had a Texas connection. Congressman Al Green, for the second year in a row, escorted out of the chamber. Green got up in protest during the speech and was seen holding a sign that said, quote, "Black people aren't apes," referring to a racist video tweeted out and later deleted by the president, who, by the way, never apologized, and blamed the mistake on a staffer. Here was Al Green shortly after he was kicked out of the House chamber.
I wanted him to know, and I wanted him to see it and hear it up close. But judging from the expression on his face, he got the message.
Houston area Republican Congressman Troy Nehls confronted Green as he was escorted out. You see that in that picture there. Later, Nehls issuing a statement calling Green a disgrace to the state of Texas.
For the first time since the 1980 Olympics, the men's U.S. hockey team took home the gold, defeating Canada 2-1 in overtime. Led by Jack and Quinn Hughes and goalie Connor Haley Buck. The U.S. women's team also took home the gold, defeating Canada 2-1 in overtime as well. Here's a little known fact. Back in 1980, the U.S. defeated Finland in the gold medal game 4-2. This followed their iconic 4-3 Miracle on Ice semifinal upset over the Soviet Union. Here's the 2026 men's hockey team being honored on Capitol Hill. Take a look.
U.S. men's hockey team golden victory honored by President Trump at last night's State of the Union as they put politics aside with their patriotism on full display in front of lawmakers.
Joining us now is senior writer for the Washington Examiner and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, the hockey team received 2 minutes of bipartisan standing ovation, and boy, did they deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. What a great moment. We've never seen that, I don't think, at a State of the Union before, Carly and Todd. And this was just what we like to see as Americans, where everybody comes together and we cheer as one as Americans. One would think we could just enjoy this moment and celebrate as Americans without any negativity. And instead, the men's team from the left, not everybody, but enough people, especially online and on other networks, they're being attacked for speaking to the sitting president of the United States, who called them after the game and invited them to the State of the Union that they showed up to last night. An invitation they gladly accepted, by the way. I saw on one network last night, guys, where a former Biden official named Simone Sanders called them political props. They're not going to let these miserable people ruin what was one of the great moments for the United States in Olympic history, and good for them, and also good for the women's team, by the way, accepting an invitation to visit the White House, so there's no controversy there whatsoever as well, Todd.
Let's get a little bit more into that, taking the 0% side on a 100-0 issue. Various publications slamming gold medal winners due to that phone call they had with President Trump immediately after they won over the perceived slight to the women's team. By the way, they're coming to the White House as well.
As you can see, people with a real bad case of Trump derangement syndrome don't care about no medals. All they care about is canceling anybody showing any sign of respect to President Trump. The president saved a very special honor for a very special athlete. At the end, take a look.
I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuyck. Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off, do you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
I've been a sports fan all my dadgum life, and I thought that was awesome. It's an awesome moment to be celebrated. But the tables turned quickly when President Trump decided that the Democrats were being disrespectful to real American heroes for not celebrating with everybody else in the chamber. Pay attention to the exchange between the president, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib. Let's just say it was electric. Watch this.
One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None.
Coast Guard Petty Officer Scott Ruskin was rewarded the Legion of Merit for his extraordinary heroism, rescuing 169 people during the catastrophic Texas Hill County floods on July 4, 2025, on his first Coast Guard recovery mission. Ruskin was recognized for his significant contributions to the rescue efforts, which were crucial in saving lives during the historic flash floods that struck Central Texas, claiming the lives of at least 135 people, most of them little girls, enjoying summer camp. Take a look.
Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you. And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aide, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service.
On November 26, 2025, two West Virginia National Guards were on duty, shot in the head, 2 blocks away from the White House. 24-year-old Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and 20-year-old Specialist Sarah Beckstrom were ambushed by a 29-year-old Afghan national. The next day, Sarah succumbed to her injuries, and Andrew eventually pulled through. President Trump awarded Andrew and Sarah's parents the Purple Heart in their honor. Watch this.
Now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart. We love you all. Love you.
Army Chief Warrant Officer Eric Slover was rewarded the Congressional Medal of Honor by President Trump for his heroic actions during the raid that captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Slover was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter, an MH-47 Chinook. The helicopter came under intense machine gun fire, and Slover was hit 4 times in his leg and hip. Even though he was severely wounded, Slover maintained control of the helicopter and safely landed it, allowing the operation to continue. Watch this.
So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House. And Eric will be there. Thank you.
Elmer Royce Williams is a highly decorated retired Navy captain, known for his solo dogfight with 7 Soviet pilots during the Korean War back in 1952. Military experts have called it one of the greatest feats in aviation history. Captain Williams also received the Victory Medal in World War II. At 100 years of age, President Trump awarded Captain Williams the Congressional Medal of Honor. Take a look.
But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor. The golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Among speech watchers tonight, 64% say his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction. And look at the growth President Trump made over the speech. So pre-speech, it was 54% of speech watchers said his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction. After the speech, that number goes up 10 percentage points. So Donald Trump made some progress with people watching the speech from their pre-speech expectations to what they saw in the speech itself. And that 64% number, that's pretty much in range across all of his State of the Union addresses. In his first term, last year, the joint session, that's about what we've seen. Is roughly 2/3 have walked away from his speeches thinking he's going to move it in the right direction.
So a lot of red meat for the base.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. If you're a Republican on the ballot in 2026, I think you leave this speech being as happy as you could possibly be, that he sort of stuck to the script on the economy, he gave red meat to the base on immigration, and they can leave the hall tonight and sort of take that out on the campaign trail.
So what did you think of the president's State of the Union address? Personally, I think it's just one of many reasons to be proud to be an American under this president. What did you think when Trump asked all members of Congress to stand and support putting American citizens first over anybody else? And the Democrats just sat there sitting on their hands while everybody else clapped for close to 3 minutes. Please comment below, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.